So to do some scenery stuff, what we're going to do is just to start off, we can do things called trees. So you just do, I'm going to delete the one I just made earlier, so I can start with the same amount as you guys. So just delete that train as well, don't need that. You should have stuff like that. So right click, 3D object, and then tree. So trees will look like this. You can edit loads of different things about it. So you might want to change kind of, let's do the seed, so you do that. It kind of looks the same when you're doing it, but you can make different seeds, trees. And what you can do is you can add a branch. So if you add in a branch and then you press add leaves as well, and then if I go to my leaves and do frequency high, I've got a load of leaves there now. I always prefer not using the trees because I just find that they are not they just don't look as good as if I get one off the asset store. But for this example, I'll just use one. So just setting my colours, so I'll do a bit of very dark brown there, and then I'll do kind of a green. I can set the green. There we go. So realistically, if I really wanted to, I could. Oh, let me delete that. Oh no, I've deleted the leaves now. Let me add them back. 1 second. Brown. And brown. So realistically, oh, let me just Control Z back to where I was, because I've. But anyway, we're going to delete that anyway, so don't worry about that. That was just to show you what trees are like. You can use a terrain, so you could right click, create terrain, and it will spawn this massive bit in here. And what you can do is you could just do paint trees, and then I think you do edit trees, add tree, and then say if we created our tree here, you could do this and it should paint it. Oh wait, add tree, grab our tree, so we get a little side view here, press add tree, and then you can see we start growing trees there like that and filling the train. Not a big fan of that either, because I'm not a big fan of using terrains. I feel them very annoying. So for now, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to create some cubes for now. So I'll create a cube here. I'm just going to scale it up, so quite big. So I'll do 10, 10, 10. And what I'll do actually is I'll just shorten it a little bit to be about, let's do 5, 10, 5. And then grab it, drag it up, and just put it over here. And this is just to kind of get an example going. I expect like everyone's levels to be way better than this, but just because it's easy for me to do this bit. So go on my cubes here. I'm going to shift click to grab them all. I'm just going to call them pillar. And what I'm going to do is add component, nav, mesh, obstacle, and carve, and that just cuts out the ground so the AI won't run through it. I'm going to grab one of these pillars quickly, and I'm just going to rename it to wall, and I will make it 1 on my X, I'll make it 15 on my Y, and I'll extend this out. Let's do 50. Now I'll do that, control paste it over here, so I've got a wall on this side as well, and then I will control paste another one, but I'll just put on the Y 90 degrees so I could turn it, and it's not going to look pretty in any sense, but we should get the job done with having a little block off for the level. Now I will right click here and create an empty, and I'll just call this level. And then what I'm going to do is shift click all the stuff I've just made, drag it into there just to clean up a little bit. Now with the level, I'm going to create, let's do material, and I'm going to create a white material and just drag that onto my pages, just because I'm going to use grey for the outside wall now. So if I shift click and then grab it, I got material here, and I can just set them all to white. And then for my level, I'm just going to drag that page material I originally used around here. I'm going to make another one. I'm just going to call it, I'll do a brown. I'll do a little brown. So we'll do a little brown. Drag that, put that there. And then we probably want like maybe just green for the ground. So create, and we'll do green. There we go. Now, as a horror game, it's not very scary. Doesn't look very good. We could do a couple of things to change that up, make it a bit more interesting. So if you go to Window and then Lighting, so Rendering and Lighting, and we could drag that into the inspector, we get loads of options here, and lighting's like a big thing with horror games, as you will know. So I might change it so the source of the colour, source of the environment lighting is a colour, and I might make that really dark. And Control S, and then if I generate lighting, there you go. It's a little bit darker as it was before. I might take the skybox off or replace it with a black one. As you can see, it's now a bit of nothing. I might change the colours to dark. You can see it's a bit more darker in the level now. With my main camera, I might do the same where I go to the inspector and make the background black. So I've not got that blue sky anymore. And I might do this where I tick on fog in the environment. Now, you really can't tell anything until you start turning that up. But if I do 0.07, I might even do 9 actually. And it just gives it a bit of darkness. And if we make that black, you can see now, it's getting a bit spookier. So I might make that one. If I press play, our fully bright level should now be way darker. And as you can see, when I move around, that fog is revealing information to me. Ah! Enemy. What a shock. Pick up my page still. And you can see it's all just a bit darker and a bit more grim now. Which I kind of like. Keep running about. Spooky things going on. And what we might do is on our player, we're going to zoom in. And we're just going to quickly add right click, light, spotlight. And that's just going to be our torch. So I'm going to go to an inspector. I'm going to increase the range, increase the angle, increase the intensity a bit so you can see it. You have to play around to get it what you want. And then what I'm going to do is go back to lighting. Well, I might turn off my directional light. So if I turn off directional light, you can see now it's got way darker. I have to use my flashlight to see everything. Ah, jump scare, there's an enemy. So you can mess around with the lighting settings really to get it where you want. I'm going to put my directional light back on because I still like seeing the colour in the level. And what I might do as well is I might go a step further and just change the direction of my directional light. So you can change it, and you can change where kind of the light's coming from. So this is like a cool option you've got. So say if you want the shadows from a certain way or not. You can also just turn off shadows. So for my horror game, I don't really want shadows. I still want lighting in the level, but I just don't think shadows will look good. And then you can also just change loads of different things here. So the intensity of the level. So I might make it 0.25. So it's still got a bit of colour. It's still got kind of that green and brown coming through, but it's a lot darker. One thing with the flashlight as well is if I look up and down right now, it doesn't really follow my head. That's an easy fix. Go into player, drag your spotlight into main camera, press play again. And look, now we've got that kind of spotlight. But this is how we're trying to make it a bit more spookier now. So that hopefully should give it a bit more of an edge and make it a bit spookier. The next thing we're going to do is just add a little bit of UI for the pages.